It was a bitterly cold afternoon in Washington, D.C. The date was January 13, 1982. Snow swirled through the air, a harbinger of the tragedy about to unfold. At Washington National Airport, now known as Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, Air Florida Flight 90 prepared for departure. Its destination, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. On board were 74 souls, eager to escape the winter's chill. Little did they know they were flying into the heart of a storm. The sky was gray, heavy with snow. A sense of foreboding hung in the air. The passengers boarded the Boeing 737, their breath misting in the frigid air. Among them were families on vacation, business travelers on their way to meetings, and flight attendants starting their workday. The flight was delayed due to the weather, a fact that did little to ease the growing tension. Unbeknownst to those on board, this delay would have far-reaching consequences. The plane was a Boeing 737-222, a workhorse of the skies. It was piloted by Captain Larry Wheaton and First Officer Roger Pettit. Both were experienced aviators, but even their combined expertise couldn't prepare them for what lay ahead. The weather was atrocious. Snow fell relentlessly, reducing visibility and making takeoff a treacherous endeavor. At 3:59 p.m., after a longer-than-expected delay, Flight 90 received clearance for takeoff. The plane taxied onto the runway, its engines roaring against the howling wind. Passengers gripped their armrests, a mixture of excitement and apprehension in their hearts. As the plane accelerated down the runway, the snow seemed to fall even harder, creating a blinding curtain of white. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then, disaster struck. One of the most critical procedures in snowy conditions is de-icing. This involves removing ice and snow from the aircraft's wings and fuselage. Ice buildup can disrupt airflow, reducing lift and potentially causing a stall. Tragically, on that fateful day, a series of errors and miscommunications led to Flight 90 taking off with a significant amount of ice on its wings. The pilots, perhaps overconfident in their abilities or pressured by the delays, failed to ensure the plane was properly de-iced. They used the de-icing fluid from the truck in front of them but did not request a second crucial de-icing. They were also recorded as not activating the engine anti-ice system for a critical period during the delay. This critical mistake would seal the fate of Flight 90. As the plane climbed into the snowy sky, the ice on its wings began to take effect. Section 4. Tragedy on the Potomac. The plane struggled to gain altitude. Its wings, starved of lift, could barely keep it aloft. Inside the cabin, passengers felt a sickening lurch as the plane banked sharply to the left. Alarm bells began to sound, but it was too late. Just minutes after takeoff, at 4:01 p.m., Flight 90 clipped a bridge spanning the Potomac River. The impact was catastrophic. The plane, shorn of its wings and tail, plunged into the icy waters of the Potomac. Debris rained down on the bridge, narrowly missing cars and pedestrians. The icy water was instantly churned into a maelstrom of twisted metal, jet fuel, and human bodies. The crash was witnessed by hundreds of people, many of whom were still grappling with the horror of what they had just seen. Section 5. Courage in the face of disaster. In the face of unimaginable tragedy, acts of extraordinary heroism emerged. Rescue workers, braving the freezing water and treacherous conditions, rushed to the scene. One man, Arlen D. Williams, Jr., a passenger on the flight, displayed remarkable courage and selflessness. Despite being injured himself, Williams repeatedly passed the rescue line from the helicopter to his fellow survivors, ensuring their safety before his own. Tragically, when the helicopter returned for him, he had succumbed to the icy waters. His selfless actions saved the lives of 4 other passengers, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the darkest of times. Section 6. Lessons learned. The investigation into the crash of Air Florida Flight 90 revealed a series of errors and oversights that contributed to the disaster. The National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, concluded that the primary cause of the crash was pilot error. The pilot's failure to ensure the plane was properly de-iced, coupled with their inadequate response to the stall warnings, had fatal consequences. The NTSB made several recommendations to prevent similar tragedies from occurring in the future. These included improved pilot training on de-icing procedures, stricter de-icing protocols for airlines, and the installation of low-speed warning systems in aircraft. The The legacy of Air Florida Flight 90 serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of aviation safety and the devastating consequences of even the smallest mistakes. The crash also highlighted the importance of courage and selflessness, embodied by the heroic actions of Arlen D. Williams Jr. and the tireless efforts of the rescue workers.